The Miami Marlins made a pivotal trade this offseason, sending starting pitcher Ryan Weathers to the New York Yankees for a package of 4 prospects. One of the headliners of that trade, Brendan Jones, joins us today on Locked On Marlins.
You are Locked On Marlins, your daily podcast on the Miami Marlins.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Ethan Eibe with you alongside Jamie Goldman, and welcome into another edition of Locked On Marlins. Locked On is now the #1 sports podcast network, your team every day, and we are so pleased to welcome our first ever player guest on in this era of the show, Brendan Jones, AA Pensacola Blue Wahoo and Marlins prospect. Brendan, we appreciate you taking the time. Thanks so much for making us a part of your Monday.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys for having me on. I'm excited to chop it up a little bit and have some fun.
No doubt about it. You've been having a terrific year so far in Pensacola. You're hitting .250. You've driven out 6 home runs, 18 driven in 36 games. Just how are you enjoying Pensacola, your first year in the Marlins organization?
It's been good. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of good people as far as the coaching staff and players. Great area just to be in every day. Great park, great setting, everything like that. And it's been nice to be in the warm weather to start the year this year as opposed to last year.
Yeah, pretty cold up there in New York, huh? Especially in the spring, early spring.
Yeah, we played some really cold games last year, so that's been nice to avoid that this year. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, been a good start to the year.
No
yeah,
doubt
nice and warm in Pensacola.
Yes, indeed. So I always like to start off with something kind of outside of baseball. I'd like you to just tell me what's something outside of baseball that's brought you joy recently the last week or so.
Okay, now that you say that, so we actually on the road we had a ping pong table in the visiting clubhouse. So I'm a big ping pong player, and then we actually just found out when we got back they got us a ping pong table at home. So that's something that I think all the guys are kind of fired up about. Is we'll get a little ping pong in the breaks and stuff throughout our day, so that'll be good.
That's huge for team morale.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Was it like because of the road trip, like you guys had a good time playing ping pong, or was it just kind of a coincidence?
So we had a road trip earlier to Montgomery, and we had a ping pong table there, and everybody was playing all day. So we were kind of getting on some of the front office and coaches with the Wahoos, kind of seeing if we could get it done. We didn't know it was going to happen. Then we came back, and there was a ping pong table. So yeah, we're all pretty fired up about it.
Wait,
that
so
awesome.
who do you feel like is the best ping pong player on the Wahoos right now? Is it you or is it someone else?
Yeah, you're looking at him right here.
Oh, I like it. I like the confidence. You know, the Marlins always do in spring training a ping pong tournament of some kind. So I think we've got ourselves a challenger here. This is going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
So going back to the offseason, you find out that you're getting sent the other way in the deal. Ryan Weathers is going to New York, and you are one of 4 players that are heading to the Miami Marlins. I'd like to know where you found out that the trade had happened. Where were you, and how did you find out?
Yeah, so I was actually at work. I was working at a baseball facility, kind of back home, kind of helping some kids and stuff there. And I get a text on my phone from kind of a buddy from college. And he just kind of sends me a message like, let's go Marlins, like go be great or something. And I was like, what is that about? Like maybe did he just sign with the Marlins or something like that? Then I look at my ESPN notifications and I see a Jeff Passan notification that says the Marlins have just traded Ryan Weathers for 4 Yankees prospects. I was like, I think I just got traded. And then 30 seconds later, our minor league director for the Yankees called me. And he was like, was I able to beat the media to it, or do you already see? I was like, well, I actually just saw the Jeff Passan notification. But so, yeah, that's kind of how I found out. It was crazy play with my emotions for sure.
That is crazy. So you found out just like the rest of all of us.
I did, yes.
Wow, that's incredible. So now that you're with the Marlins organization, you know, what excites you most about this opportunity with the Marlins?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great organization. Obviously, it was awesome that I had some familiarity with some of the people within the organization and a lot of the training methods and things like that they were trying to implement. A lot of that they had brought over from the Yankees. So that was good for a clean transition. And then obviously I'm just, excited. I feel like there hopefully can be opportunity to crack into the big leagues at some point and have an opportunity that maybe I wouldn't have gotten as soon with the Yankees.
Absolutely. I mean, you mentioned your familiarity. I would think Joe Migliaccio and Tom DeAngelis are names that you know pretty well. Joe Miggs is now the Marlins hitting director. He was the Yankees minor league hitting coordinator, and Tom was your hitting coach at Hudson Valley. Now the hitting coach in AAA Jacksonville. How have those two guys influenced your development? I know you're not with Tom just yet in the Marlins organization, but I have to think those two guys have helped you out quite a bit.
Yeah, no doubt. I was with Joe Migliaccio when I got drafted by the Yankees, and then Tom. Obviously, I spent a good portion of last season with him, so that was really good. Once I kind of got traded and stuff, we hopped on a call and kind of discussed, some things I wanted to work on and things to like work on going into the season, and we were kind of on the same page there, and because there was the familiarity. So that kind of made it easy that we kind of were thinking the same and on the same page and could just go from there.
So let's kind of get into the big week that you kind of just had. You're on a 6-game hitting streak, 2 home runs in last night's game. In your home state, Nashville native, doing it in Chattanooga. Did you change your approach going into it? Did it just feel to be back home? What kind of went into the way that you were able to kind of turn it on in this last week or so?
No, it wasn't too much of a change in approach or anything like that. I kind of was trying to stick to what I've been doing in my process and things like that. And obviously being back home and had some family in town and things like that, I think definitely played a part in some comfortability. But yeah, it was fine. I felt comfortable in the box, was just sticking to my process well and having good at bats.
Have you made any key adjustments heading into this year?
I think kind of the biggest thing that, me, Tom, and Joe all agreed coming into the season was some of the, working on breaking balls, getting a little more consistent there. And then just trying to consistently hard contact more often and some bat pat stuff as far as, working out some steepness in my swing and things like that. So those are all things that, I kind of slowly but surely kind of tried to tinker with and not just completely overhaul, but just slowly but surely work throughout the season.
So you mentioned, your family was out there and they watched you play. What did it mean to kind of, your sister, we did some research and we saw your sister and her whole softball team kind of came out and watched the game. So, what did it kind of mean to put on a show in front of the hometown fans?
Yeah, it was awesome. There were a few days where I had 30 plus ticket requests and was needing tickets from other people and stuff like that. So it was awesome just to kind of have a lot of people that hadn't got to see me play really since high school, because I played college baseball pretty far away too, make it out and see me and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really good to kind of reconnect with some people. My mom grew up in Chattanooga. My dad went to UTC, so a lot of Chattanooga ties. So that was really cool to kind of reconnect with some people and see a lot of them out at the park, being able to watch me play.
Yeah, you're certainly a well-traveled guy, Kansas State as well. Mother's Day was recently, and obviously next month is Father's Day. Peel back the curtain for me a little bit. How have your parents influenced your path and your family as a whole?
Yeah, they've been my biggest supporters since day one. I remember back in high school, my dad, I kind of really around 8th grade is when I knew that baseball is kind of what I wanted to do at the next level. I was really skinny, so I was like, I need to get in the weight room. I need to get stronger. My dad would drive me every morning to go work out at the school at 6:30 in the morning before his work. My mom was driving me all over the world for hitting lessons, things like that. So they always made sure that any available opportunity they weren't going to let it pass because of them. So they've been really instrumental in helping me get to where I am.
So you mentioned going far away to college. You said, you were in hometown Chattanooga and Nashville, and then you went away to school at Kansas State. Was that kind of a big adjustment when you were in school, first time being away from home, being a college baseball player? What was that adjustment like back in college?
Yeah, it was definitely an adjustment. It was 10-hour drive from home. I really hadn't been away from home like that my whole life. So it was definitely an adjustment, and you're playing in Division I college baseball in a Power 4 conference. So, all of those things, that first fall was definitely tough. I had to learn through failure a lot. That's kind of the way this game goes. But I kind of learned how to use that failure to make me better as opposed to break me down. So I think it was really good for me that fall to actually kind of go through some of those struggles and things like that early. to help me kind of become the ball player that I am now.
So do you ever get used to it, or is it always kind of an adjustment? Because, being in the minors and getting traded last season, that's a lot of moving around. Like, are you kind of used to it at this point, or is it still just always a transition having to go to a new place?
I wouldn't say you get used to it. You kind of learn some routines and things like that kind of to help you. Obviously, you don't get used to it. It's tough being away for that long. I have a wife now she still lives back in Nashville, so she's not able to come up all the time. So you never get used to it, but you do learn kind of routines and ways that you can make it easier and kind of just roll with the punches.
We're joined by Marlins prospect Brendan Jones here on this episode of Locked On Marlins. We'll continue our conversation with Brendan right after these messages from Game Time and Hims. The MLB season is back, and you can feel it. Fresh starts, big expectations, and that first crack of the bat. Whether it's a breakout rookie or a division race that goes down to the wire, there's nothing like being in the ballpark for it. The only problem, getting tickets can feel like a grind. Long queues, surprise fees, prices jumping at checkout as well. And that's where there's Game Time. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage with constant innovation. It's how you unlock amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. And it's simple to use as well. The Game Time guarantee means you get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time at the best price. And here's the best part. Fees are included in the price you see. What you see is what you pay, period. The seat views feature is huge. You can see the panoramic view from your exact seat before you buy. Zone deals let you pick the sections and save even more while Game Time selects the seat. You can follow your favorite team and get alerts when new deals drop as well. And Marlins deals, as we all know, are always around. I even got a good deal to go and see the Marlins on the road this past weekend in Tampa Bay. 2 taps and it's done. No stress, no hidden fees, just great seats in minutes. That's what makes it so easy to decide last minute to hit a game. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. And a message from Hims. ED is way more common than most guys think. Millions of guys deal with it at some point, and that's exactly why Hims offers a straightforward way to handle it. Hims connects you with licensed healthcare providers online, giving you access to legitimate ED treatment options from the comfort of your home. No awkward appointments, no pharmacy lines, just a straightforward process that makes it easier to take care of yourself. The whole process is simple. You just complete a quick online intake, and a provider reviews your information. If treatment is right for you, it ships directly to your door in discreet packaging, which makes the whole experience feel private and stress-free. To get simple online access to personalized, affordable care for ED, hair loss, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/lockedonmlb. That's hims.com/lockedonmlb for your free online visit. hims.com/lockedonmlb. Prescription required. See website for details and important safety information. Sildenafil is the generic version of Viagra. Viagra is a registered trademark of Viatris Specialty, LLC. Hims is not affiliated with or endorsed by Viatris. And before we continue on with Brendan Jones, let's tell you about the Everydayer Club. Baseball is back, and to celebrate, I'm giving you a full month of the Everydayer Club absolutely for free. Go to lockedonmarlins.supercast.com and use code FINALLY. You'll unlock every episode ad-free and get access to our private listener group chat. Tap the link in the show notes and use code FINALLY to claim your free month. Thank you so much for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. As we roll on with Brendan Jones, Marlins prospect with the AA Pensacola Blue Wahoos, again, we appreciate your time. I'd like to discuss your spring training opportunity that you got with Miami this year. You got to be a non-roster invitee and be in camp in Jupiter. Just tell me about what that was like, brand new to the organization, and you get an opportunity like that.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was kind of another thing when you guys go back to the trade and talking about the whirlwind of that day. I had actually just found out earlier that day from the Yankees that I was going to their big league spring training. And then the trade happened. So obviously you kind of don't know what the situation is like with the Marlins. But then that was awesome to find out that I was going to be big league spring training for the Marlins. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was great to be around the big league coaches and things like that. And then be around a lot of those players and kind of just see how they go about their business and what makes them big leaguers and what makes them excel at that next level.
And I'm curious, what, relationships maybe did you form while you were down there with some of the guys on the big league squad? I'm sure you were picking their brains quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of those guys were really receptive, which they didn't have to be to, some of us non-roster guys, and were really open to conversations. I had some good conversations with Stowers, some really good stuff in the cage. Talked with Casey a lot. A lot of the other outfielders, Estery, a lot of those guys are the ones I spent the most time with, just because we're doing things throughout the day in spring training. But yeah, a lot of those guys really had some kind of good stuff to watch and kind of see how they go about their day and their routines.
So you mentioned Kyle Stowers, a guy with a lot of power. Speaking of power, 2-home run night for Brendan Jones last night, after not having a home run since April. So, big night last night. What kind of went into last night? Like, when did you feel last night that it was going to be one of those nights that you really had it going?
Well, I really didn't know what the feeling was like, because that was my first 2-homer game in my lifetime. So that was pretty cool to get that. But I mean, yeah, my first at bat, I felt pretty good. I was seeing the pitcher well. And I hit a homer in that first at bat off a changeup. So then the next at bat, I kind of came into it looking for a fastball early, because I knew, that I'd been on the changeup in the last at bat, and I got it that first pitch. And was able to get another one out. But yeah, it was definitely a good feeling, and it was cool to get 2 in one game.
Do you remember anything specific about those swings or those at bats that changed anything, or was it just business as usual? I'm approaching it just like any other at bat.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of how you got to do it, is approach it like any other at bat. You can't change your approach or try to get big or become someone you're not. So yeah, I was kind of just going into it, same as every at bat. I knew my scouting report and kind of where I needed to be. And obviously yesterday it kind of worked out a little bit better than some other days it does.
Another guy that you came over in the same trade with, Dillon Lewis, had a great series at Chattanooga. He's now your teammate as well in Pensacola. What's it like being around him and watching him thrive and getting to be his teammate with multiple organizations now?
Yeah, it's been awesome. It was good being able to get traded over with him, and then we're here with Dylan Hasso as well, who we kind of know. So Dylan's my roommate on the road. He's my roommate here at home. So yeah, it's kind of been good. We've kind of been able to, bounce things off of each other and kind of learn from each other, and then kind of get through some of the growing pains and adjustments of kind of being in a new organization together. So yeah, it's been really good to watch him and watch how he plays and, how he can swing the bat.
One thing that I really want your take on, the Marlins, I feel like, pride themselves on trying new things when it comes to development, not really saying no right away to crazy ideas that might come from the front office or even from the players. I'd like to hear your perspective, just the experience that it's been like for you under the Marlins development philosophy, and maybe how that compared to your time in the Yankee system.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees were, I felt like, a pretty kind of similar, forward thinking, would try new things. But yeah, with the Marlins, they definitely are, they're willing to experiment with anything and everything, which I like. I mean, it's awesome from a player perspective, they make it all available to us. Like, let's see if, how you like this. How does this make you feel? Does it make you feel prepared going into the game? And then kind of navigate it from there. So yeah, it's been really good to kind of just get a bunch of different outlooks and different things to try and kind of see what works.
Has there been anything that's, I guess, surprised you about maybe the way that they've tried to develop you that maybe you didn't expect?
Not too much, because I mean, I think talking to some other guys that maybe have come from some other organizations that do things a little bit differently, yes. But kind of a lot of the philosophy is similar. But they're kind of just taking it to another level, and I think making me even better at some of those things, which has been really good. Like some of the outfield stuff, base running is all pretty similar. And then, some of the hitting stuff, they're, really big on, angled machines and kind of just training in hard environments, because the game is hard. So I think a lot of those things I was familiar with, and then kind of getting over here with the Marlins, they've kind of taken it to another level. So it hasn't been too tough of an adjustment, but it's been good for sure.
So you briefly touched on base running there. 51 steals last year. You led the Yankee system. Now you have 18 steals through 36 games. You're on pace to exceed that this year. So how have you kind of developed the speed tool of your game, and how much pride do you take in that?
Yeah, I mean, the speed is probably the thing I take the most pride in. Going into most years, I don't like to set numerical stats a lot of times for most things other than stolen bases, just because I feel like that is something kind of I can control. And, I want to cause chaos on the base paths and try and, get extra 90s and score more runs. Yeah, I mean, obviously with the base running aspect, speed is kind of something that has come naturally to me. And then obviously through training and things like that, I've gotten better at. But where I think, the Marlins have done a really good job and our base running coach, Mason Sherrill, does a really good job is with some of the scouting report and the preparation going into a pitcher or a game to kind of know what to look for. A lot of times in college and things like that, if a guy was slide stepping or quicker to home, I had no way to steal because I'm just stealing what they call traditional. Whereas with the Marlins and the Yankees, they kind of introduced some other ways that, you can still look to get stolen bases just because the guy's quicker to home. So that's kind of been a way to unlock that speed aspect and that base running even more since I've been in pro ball.
We're chatting with Marlins prospect Brendan Jones here on Locked On Marlins. We'll have some more fun questions for Brendan, but first we got to get to these messages from Ethos and Kalshi.
Hey, it's Mike and John from Locked On Angels. We wanted to talk to you about something that's important, and that's your family.
I've been married a few years now, and my wife and I have a 1-year-old, and we're always thinking about his future. Who's he going to become? How can we help? And what ways can we make sure his future is secure?
Yeah, I'm in a different season. I'm married. I have 3 young adult kids, and lately I've been thinking a lot about how to make sure my family's taken care of in the long term.
This is why life insurance matters, not because it solves everything, but because it helps provide financial security for the people you love the most.
And that's where Ethos comes in. Ethos makes getting life insurance fast and easy, 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and even get same-day coverage, and there's no medical exam. You just answer a few simple health questions online, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage. Some policies are as low as $30 a month.
So take 10 minutes to get covered today with life insurance through Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/lockedonmlb. That's ethos.com/lockedonmlb.
Get up to $3 million in coverage in as little as 10 minutes at ethos.com/lockedonmlb. Application times may vary. Rates may vary.
Baseball season is here and now, and you can trade every game on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every single game, and for tonight's Marlins-Braves game, the Marlins have a 44% probability to get the job done, according to Kalshi. So you can make a $100 trade, and if the Marlins win, that's a $205 payout. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house, and as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code LOCKEDON to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi. Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory. Back here with Brendan Jones here on Locked On Marlins. Have some fun questions for you here, Brendan, as we wrap up our time together. Appreciate the time again, by the way. You mentioned the base running, the steals. You're clearly crafty on the bases, but I was able to dig this up, and I want you to tell me if this is real or not. You and your brother built a custom makeshift gym at home during COVID involving rice buckets to simulate weights. Is this true?
Wow, you really did some digging. Yeah, that is. Yeah, so COVID was kind of, obviously crazy, no access to gyms and stuff like that. But me and my siblings we created a good routine. We had school online, so we'd go online school, and then we had a gym, an area kind of to exercise, but we needed some more weight. So, we added rice buckets. We put all the little weights that we could and then add the rice buckets, doing some squats and bench and things like that. So it was a way to get something done. But yeah, it was a interesting time for sure.
So were you guys kind of just ballparking the weight because you had rice buckets, or did you guys have a formula to kind of know what you were carrying?
No, definitely no formula. We try to put it like on a scale, and then they made the balance part of it. I think it might have actually been a better workout because the stability of it. The buckets are moving back and forth. So as you're benching or squatting, you're kind of also having to work the stabilizer muscles as well because you got the buckets bouncing all over the place. So,
How about that? You got the rice power going. I absolutely love
yeah.
it. Oh my goodness. So, what else does Brendan Jones like to get out to, away from the baseball field? How do you fill your time? What hobbies you got?
Yeah, kind of during the off season, I played football growing up, so I'm a big college football fan. Being in Nashville, I grew up a Vanderbilt fan, so we're still close by. So they had a good year last year, so we were going to a lot of those games. Enjoy, kind of going to the lake, wakeboarding, doing some things like that. Obviously, it's a little bit harder now that we're playing baseball all summer. But yeah, and then obviously we touched on earlier ping pong. I definitely will get serious in some ping pong too.
Once you get up here to Jacksonville, you and I are going to play ping pong.
Okay, sounds good.
So growing up in Nashville, was there any, what team did you root for? Was there any player that you idolized? No major league team in Nashville, but, I'm curious, what team you root for. Was there any player that you kind of modeled your game after or anything along those lines?
Yeah, so kind of like I just touched on, growing up Vanderbilt fans. So I would, they had a really good baseball program. So Dansby Swanson was kind of always one of my favorite players. So I guess once he was drafted or went to the Braves, I kind of became a de facto Braves fan. And then like growing up, I don't know if you guys know the name Tony Kemp. He had a pretty long big league career. He was a great outfielder. Like I would go to some games and see some clips of him. So he was someone that I kind of always he was smaller too. And I always was smaller growing up. So I was like, I want to play like that guy. So he was definitely somebody. And then Mookie Betts is from around the area. And he actually hit with the guy I hit with growing up. So I was actually able to hit with him once. And so he was kind of someone that I would always follow and idolize kind of as I grew up.
I love that. I remember watching Tony Kemp. That guy was scrappy. I just loved watching him play baseball.
Yeah. He's a fun player to watch for sure.
So what do you think about Nashville as a potential big league market one day? I mean, that's got to happen soon.
Yeah, I think hopefully it's on the way sooner rather than later. Because I think it would be a great place. Baseball is huge around that area. I think a major league team would do great there for sure.
I went to a Nashville Predators hockey game, and the environment there was unbelievable. So I can only imagine baseball will translate the same way, especially how big Vanderbilt is over there. So
for sure, yeah, it gets crazy.
I definitely agree with you there.
We're going to conclude with some rapid fire questions here soon, but we actually have some listener questions that some members of our audience submitted. So I wanted to get to a few of those. Loud Miami fan Chase, good friend of the pod, asked, what's the biggest difference just from a clubhouse perspective between the Yankees organization and the Marlins organization in terms of amenities and the like?
As far as the actual affiliates and things like that, it's pretty similar. Spring training, the Yankees obviously had a really nice setup. And then the Marlins just redid theirs. So it was like really, state of the art, kind of that spring training facility and things like that. But the Marlins, I really like the kind of continuity between, you got even relationships and connections with front office people, coaching staff and things like that. Which maybe you didn't see as much with the Yankees. So that's definitely an aspect of the Marlins that I like.
So this one's from Michael Fetcher. He says, what is your motivation to play baseball? What drives you each day? And what's your motivation?
Yeah. So growing up, I always played baseball. I played all three sports. And then kind of as I got to that like 8th grade year, I guess you could say met like a crossroads. I was really kind of struggling actually in baseball. And that's kind of when I decided like, this is what I want to do. Like I want to play at the next level. At the time I wasn't even thinking, professional baseball. It was just college baseball. And then you get the opportunity to play college baseball at the next level and you're like, well, now I want to play at the next level above that. So yeah, I mean, I think kind of just, the drive to be the best I can and kind of be the best version of myself every day to, I don't want to look back at this at the end of my playing career and have any regrets or think of anything that I could have done differently. So I'm trying to kind of approach each day like that so that I don't have any regrets and I'm fulfilled when I'm done with my playing career.
I like that. That's really good stuff right there. Former Locked On Marlins host Jeremiah Geiger asked, what specific hitting drills have helped you the most in your last couple seasons here?
Yeah, I think I touched on it a little bit earlier, but some of the angle work that we do, kind of hitting the machines at an angle as opposed to straight on, I think have been good for me and my bat path and things like that. And then something that I kind of started doing last year, kind of mid season, and then have carried into this year is just like mixed BP. So as opposed to just having the coach throw normal, fastball BP, have them actually throwing a mix of pitches, fastball, breaking ball, changeup. So I think seeing that is really helpful from a timing perspective. And then obviously you're seeing realistic pitch shapes and things like that. So I think that's really been instrumental in kind of helping me get better as a player.
Love it. Love it. How about we wrap up with some rapid fire? We've got 5 questions for you, and we'll just blitz right through this. You ready?
All right, let's do it.
All right. Let's start. Your favorite baseball movie?
Sandlot.
Love it.
Sandlot. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yep.
An MLB legend who you would most like to meet? Could be past or present, whatever you got.
Ooh. I have to go with like Hank Aaron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Respect.
I thought you were going to say Benny the Jet Rodriguez after Sandlot.
I should have, since Sandlot was my pick. Yeah.
I'd like to meet Brad Pitt, GM of the Oakland A's. Oh man. What is your walk-up song?
It is Me and Mr. Jones by who is it by? Oh my, I can't think of it right now. But I kind of switched it up this year. I've been going with the rotation before this, and I think it's pretty good. I like it. It's
That's not the Counting Crows song, is it?
No, it's oh my
Okay.
gosh, why can I not think who it's by? No, it's not that song, but it kind of implements my last name, and it's got a good vibe kind of as I'm going up to the plate. So I think it's been good.
Gotcha.
Was Tennessee Whiskey ever part of the rotation?
No, it was not.
I love it. Who's a fellow teammate of yours with the Wahoos right now that you think Marlins fans should take more of a notice of?
Well, I just fresh on my mind from his outing a couple days ago, but Karson Milbrandt, I mean, he's been lights out every time he's on the mound. It's a lot of fun to play defense behind him. A lot of quick games, and he's been really good so far.
Heck yeah, Milbrandt's been fantastic. And then wrapping it up, your hottest take. It could be about anything at all, the silliest thing. What do you got for us in that regard? I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Oh man, I don't know if this is a hot take. I get very mixed opinions on this, but pineapple should never be on pizza.
I agree with you there.
Should not be found anywhere near pizza.
I kind of fluctuate a little bit. Some days it's okay. Some days I'd rather not.
Yeah, my wife would disagree with me, but I can't get on board.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, look, Brendan Jones, we really appreciate you taking the time. You are the first ever player guest that we have had on this show, and we are so glad that it was you. So thanks so much for spending some of your time with us today.
Well, yeah, honored to be the first. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we will see you here very soon in Jacksonville, we hope, and then hopefully soon after in Miami.
Sounds good.
Good stuff. Well, with that, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to Locked On Marlins here today. We're going to be back with you tomorrow to give you all the news and analysis from the Marlins' first 2 games of this homestand against the Atlanta Braves. Make sure you subscribe and follow Locked On Marlins so you can get all of the latest episodes. You can find the show on social media at LO_Marlins. I'm out there as well at IPXP, EIBEPXP, Jamie Goldman 66 for good old Goldie. Brendan, do you have anything you want to plug before we say goodbye?
No, I mean, I'm on social media. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. Just look up my name. But I don't do too much posting.
Gotcha. He's out there, folks. He's out there. Well, if you never miss an episode, the Everydayer Club is built for you. Get Locked On Marlins ad-free, plus members-only Discord access and more. Head to lockedonmarlins.supercast.com to join the club. And for those of you on video, we'll send you to the first ever 24/7 National Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel on audio for your second listen. Go check out Locked On MLB. Have a wonderful Tuesday, everybody, and we'll talk to you tomorrow right here on Locked On Marlins.